This is the N82 Tactical Holster for my M&P 2.0 Compact. I have had this holster for probably a little over a month now. Initially was going to do a review when I first got it, but I didn't think that would be a really good review since I really hadn't given it a chance one way or another. So the reason I wanted this holster is because I haven't had experience with these, and I do find this to be the overall most comfortable holster on the market. In particular, this model, as we all know, has that really abrasive texturing, and it feels really great in my hands. I love it, but not so much rubbing it against my side all day. So this is really the only holster that I could think of that would take care of that problem. Even though, if you notice, I don't think I've seen anybody say this yet, but on these compacts, it was different than my full-size version I have. You see how it's kind of whiter? It's a lot thinner in the textured area compared to over here. And I don't know if they're doing that on the newer releases on the full size, but for mine, that area is just as filled in as that area there. And I think they've just adjusted that just on these back straps, just on this one area. They've made it less aggressive, and I think that's part of the reason is trying to make it a little bit more comfortable, especially against your side. And people complain about snagging up against their clothes and stuff. So it's just something interesting. I did notice that they did change that. But I've had a history with Nate in the past. I won't go into it in details of why I'm upset with a lot of their holsters, but bottom line is, on these originals, the metal clip was so cheap that I basically had 3 holsters within a week that the clip would bend or warp just on everyday normal use. And even though Nate does, say they have a lifetime guarantee, I was like, well, why do I want a new holster? I know it's just going to screw up again. They can't be reliable. So it kind of went out of favor with them, and I kind of threw them to the side, went to other holsters, even though I really like the backing. The backing of this is very nice. It really is one of those holsters you can go out and mow grass and literally forget you have the gun on it. It's just that comfortable. But my problem comes down, the reason I never ordered one of these 3 or 4 years ago is I don't like the retention on the guns. I like to make them tight as I want them, but I don't like having any type of locking mechanism on them. A lot of people have all these ideas what they're going to do in an emergency. They're going to flip a safety, they're going to cock a hammer, they're going to do all these things, but I'm one of those people who think, in a situation where you're going to be attacked, it's probably going to be an ambush type situation. You're going to be lucky that you even get to pull your gun at all. So I don't want any outside factors I have to worry about, and that's the reason I don't like that. And so I've had it for, like I said, a month or so now, and it's one of those things they say you have to commit to muscle memory, and I've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. But if you go out of practice just for like a day, I know I came home from work after a long day, went to take the gun out, and I went directly tried to pull it out, and it didn't come out, obviously. That split little second, I forgot. And I was like, well, I really don't, that was a stressful situation, and I would have forgot, I could have been in a lot of trouble. And so I've sent numerous emails to Nate. We've had little conversations on Facebook, and I keep asking them, I'm like, when are you going to go get rid of these metal clips? And they're like, well, we have no intention of doing that. So a year or so later, they do put the plastic on the professional model, and I know a lot of people complain about that because I think a lot of people have it in their mind, if it's metal it's better, but the metal is cheap, it's flimsy, it bends, and the plastic is much better. I heard someone say that catches on your clothes. I've tried to catch that on my shirts. Every shirt I have, jackets, it doesn't catch any more than any other clip that you're going to own. So people get things in their head. There's nothing wrong with that clip. And so over the last couple of years, I've been sending emails and requests to them, trying to get them to come out with a Kydex version of this, a true hybrid Kydex version on that backing, because you know they're hogging the patent on that design, and they're just not making enough models. I mean, basically your Glocks are covered, and I know they got the M&P Shield in their new Envoy and Ambassador, I think, if I remember. But they had nothing for SIG, none of the P series, the 226, 229s. They had nothing for the P320s. They had nothing for CZ, nothing for the Smith & Wessons. And I asked them, I said, when are you going to come out with, you know, some more models? And they're like, well, this time we have no intentions. And I said, well, you know, we really would like to have some different, you know, models, because there's a lot more guns than Glocks and M&P Shields out there. And they said, well, we're a small company, so we don't really have the ability to do a lot of that. And so I gave in. I ordered this holster, even though I do not like the locking mechanism. I have practice, so it does get a little better, especially after about 3 or 4 days. The gun starts to form inside the holster, or I should say the holster forms around the gun, and it becomes a little bit easier to slide it in and out. But, you know, it is what it is. They're, you know, maybe sometime down the line they'll make more of their Envoy style holsters. But it is comfortable. It did eliminate the problem that I was looking at. It does get away from this rubbing up against your skin all the time. And the holster size that I ordered is actually the full size holster, even though it's compact, so it will take the 17 round mags. So you can carry either one. So great idea. They do have a great little gimmick going, a little part of the market, but I wish they would just come out with a couple more. But if you're looking for a holster for the M&P 2.0 to alleviate some of that against your skin, this may be an idea for you. It's something to consider, you know, if you think you like the retention system or not. But I'm going to keep going with it, give it a little more time to make my final decision about it. But it is comfortable. It is overall nice. It's not just for that one problem, but something to consider. I hope this helps someone out.